Boys, we have trades 2 in 1 day, and it leads into a game on a Thursday night where we beat the Dallas Stars in overtime. And I want to say this, it is great to have David Poile once again making the trades that he needed to make. How do you guys feel about the last few days?
Welcome back to Smashville, Cody McLeod.
Oh man, welcome to the Hattie podcast. We are excited that you're here. It's our 4th ever show, and that's pretty exciting. Ben McGreevy, Heath Green, Cole Porter, and we're ready to roll. I am frankly pumped about the trades that went down. I'm not going to say I lost a full workday because I got a ton done yesterday in the office, but like when these trades were released, it was a good 20 minutes. That's all I could focus on.
It's all I could focus on for one of my whole classes yesterday.
I was trying to teach flying, but I got like 40 text messages between Ben and Cole.
Oh, we were blowing your phone up yesterday. It was crazy.
It was one of those things where it's like you always hear about other teams doing this, and I think I just checked Twitter. Like I was getting on Twitter because I was going to tweet something out for the church account, and I was like going to log in and tweet it. And then like as I was about to log out of my own personal account, I was like hearing Nashville's talking with New Jersey and like Brian Boyle, and I was like, there is no possible
I didn't
way.
think it was real. I think the first tweet I saw was either Adam Vingan or Robbie Stanley, and I was like, this is a joke.
There was no way, and especially since we talked about it last week. Yeah. Like by us talking about Brian Boyle, I thought it like guaranteed we were not going to get Brian Boyle.
Shout out to who was that?
It was Josh Kirby.
Josh Kirby.
And his question was like, hey, Boyle, Simmons, like who are you going after?
But he mentioned Boyle, and that's what got us talking about it. We looked at the caps, and we're like, you know what? Brian Boyle would actually be a really great fit in Nashville. Size, physicality, the price that he comes with. And look now, I mean, he played his first game tonight. We're recording this at 10:30 at night after the Nashville versus Dallas game because we're excited about it. But, yeah.
Ryan Johansson just sniped. And
he did.
Oh, man. For someone who never shoots the puck, thank you, Joey, for shooting the puck.
Oh, man. Alrighty. Well, we'll get to... we will talk about Dallas here at the end of the show, so stick around for that because that's going to be a fun one to talk about. But what do you guys... Let's just talk a little bit about the Boyle trade, a little bit for the Nashville Predators and the New Jersey Devils. Where do you guys see like this fit in on both sides? And
and for those that don't know, the Predators acquired Brian Boyle from New Jersey for a 2nd-round draft pick in 2019, the 2019 draft.
Yeah, 2019.
And
this June,
yeah. I think it's a good trade. I mean, when you look at this team, we're geared up. We've had some good playoff hockey the past few years, and we're ready to win now. So we really don't need our 2nd-round pick. We've got really good prospects sitting up in Milwaukee if we need to pull somebody. So I was fine giving up the 2nd-rounder.
This is what everyone was sitting here saying. They were all like, the 2nd-round pick is way too expensive.
Exactly.
Why would you? And I'm sitting there like, are you insane? Like, okay, Heath, you're sitting here disagreeing.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying on one side, you could say you could say you've overpaid, but what are you getting out of Boyle?
You could get a Stanley Cup.
Definitely, I think you're completely fine with it. I don't need a draft pick.
Well, here's the thing. It's essentially, let's be honest, the Preds are not going to... I'm crossing my fingers and knocking on some wood. Here's a wood floor. But, like, the Preds are going to make the playoffs. So it's not going to be a lottery pick.
No.
And so you're sitting there, essentially it's a third-round pick.
Almost a third-round pick,
late 2nd round, probably. Yeah. And so, to me...
I mean, you're not giving up much.
No.
Anything, really.
In both of these trades, I mean, we got Cody McLeod from the New York Rangers for a 7th-round pick in the 2020 draft.
Yeah.
I mean...
That's nothing.
It's Pecorino.
But here's the thing. You kind of... I get it. It's a 2nd-round draft pick.
Or 8th. Yeah. But
you're getting 2 picks in the 4th round. One from Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know it's the 4th round, but...
I mean, here's the thing. We can sit here and we can discuss, like, that was expensive. Brian Boyle
He brings a lot to the
is
table, though.
everything you want.
You saw it tonight. I think it was his second shift. I literally said to you guys, I
It
was
was
like,
his first
look,
shift.
I was like,
It was
look at Brian
absolutely
Boyle
his
in front of
first
the
shift.
post in the slot, and as soon as I said that, someone knocked a shot
And
right
it was,
off the post.
Oh, who was
It would have had to have been Yarncroke. No,
it wasn't
it was-
Yarncroke.
The entire arena stood
whoever
up.
it was. I was too excited hearing the ding as
Oh
it
my
bounced
gosh.
off the cross. It was just one of those moments. It's like you brought Brian Boyle here to do that, and
And
then
first
he did
shift.
it.
Yeah.
First shift, he brought it.
It's one of those things for me that I look at this trade, and people can be like, "Oh, we paid too much." Are you insane? What is your goal of playing hockey?
Yeah.
What is your goal of sitting here and trying to win? It's trying to win a Stanley Cup.
You have to.
It's not to draft well.
Yeah.
Think about teams who have drafted well.
Look. Okay, now go look at Chicago. Yeah, they suck right. Well, they don't suck right now. They're somewhat in the playoffs.
They're in the playoff spot. Almost.
But they won 3 cups.
Yeah.
They didn't draft well because they couldn't because they kept getting bottom draft picks, but they won.
And that's sort of this point where I think. By the way, Chicago is only 2 points.
Yeah.
out
Now,
of this.
now that when you think about it, the West is kind of
But
even.
But in saying all of that, I think the thing that I want to think about here is you can get upset about this trade. You can say it's too expensive. Adam Bingen wrote an article for The Athletic saying it's not like the piece that's going to put the Preds over the top. I'm sorry, the Nashville Predators won the President's Trophy last year, and go ahead, yell at me. Say that it's not the Stanley Cup and that's not what we were looking for, but you played through 82 games. You were the best team last year.
Yeah.
And so
By
suddenly
far.
you add this piece as you slumped already. You're adding a piece to pick up momentum that's going to be the piece that honestly you're missing. I mean, okay, sure, fine, whatever. You're missing a sniper. You're missing a scorer.
Yeah.
Forsberg has been hurt.
But you're replacing physicality.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
looking at last
need it.
year, what did you lose? First off, we'll start with you lost Scott Hartnell,
Yeah.
who was a hard hitter in playoffs. You don't have Austin Watson anymore. You've got to go out and replace those big physical guys. And that's exactly what David Poile did yesterday. Could we still use a sniper? Absolutely. I hope David Poile's not done. I really hope there's one more trade left in him.
Do you guys think David Poile is done?
No,
I don't think so.
I really think there's
now,
one more piece.
I think if he gets the right deal, yes. Now, is he done if he doesn't see? I don't know if I was talking with Cole during the game. The only way I would get our Panarin any way, any fashion.
You got really scared of that Artemi.
Yeah, I was like,
Artemi. It's a tough first
Forget
name.
trying to pronounce that.
No,
last
I'm
name.
Russians.
Artemi.
Timmy.
Mr.
I
Tim.
was just-
No, I don't think he would sign here. And,
he doesn't want to be here long
and
term.
well, that's what I'm saying. He wants to
He's
go
a
somewhere
rental.
where it's a big franchise.
But you can't give someone up for
But
a
I don't
rental.
want to give up like a Fiala for a rental.
Honestly, I don't want to give up Tolvanen for a rental.
No, neither do I.
No.
I'd rather give him draft pick.
I mean, people can. You haven't seen Tolvanen be perfect so far, but he's still like he has so much potential.
If
much
you
potential.
told me, give me your first round draft pick and you will get a Stanley Cup, I'll be like, take all my draft picks. If Panarin
yes.
if Panarin wanted if they wanted a first round draft pick for Panarin, I'd be like, if we're winning the cup, take my draft pick.
So
but you also got to be careful with Panarin. I think right now, if he came into this locker room and just didn't want to be here,
and
Yeah.
that's the
what's
thing.
The
I'm
attitude would be very scary
yeah.
to see.
I honestly, I think Panarin would be really phenomenal for this team. Like goal scorer out of this world. Let's get in David Poile's mindset for a minute. Say Panarin's not on the table.
Matt Duchene.
Matt Duchene. You're saying Matt Duchene. Are you going for Duchene?
I don't know if you can though.
I don't know if you can
What
afford
does he
him.
make?
He.
8?
I'm pulling up the cap friendly. Every single one of us are sitting here pulling
Matt
up cap
Duchene
friendly.
makes $6 million, and he's a UFA after
But
this year.
that's what is his current cap hit? So what is his hit going to be for the rest of the year? It's not going to be high, right?
Remaining, that's daily. Cap hit is $6 million is what
Right, but it's not going to be that
No,
much.
it won't.
His remaining is only 1.9.
Yeah, so you could, you could work
I
with
see
it.
that now.
So you could essentially use it. Who would you give up for Duchesne right now? Ooh, that's a tough one. Who are you giving up as the Preds?
Now, you
you're
gotta
David
look at-
Poile. What do you give up for Duchesne?
So
Ottawa is not going to take a draft pick for Duchesne.
You're looking at.
So
you don't think?
no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Do
you
you
have to give a player?
Do you give up one of these restricted free agent players? Like, do you give up Ryan Hartman? Do you
No.
give up Colton Sissons?
I think if
Oh, you can't.
no,
I don't want to give
think
up.
here's-
No, I'm just
you
saying.
don't break up anybody currently
That's-
on that roster.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So
but
suddenly we're sitting here saying don't make another trade.
because getting a player like Matt Duchesne, you're going to give up someone that is good and that you really like.
Well, that's the thing I start to wonder is at what point do you break up enough of the team where they're like, why am I even trying to win for this franchise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't like. Here's me. Let's throw me on a team. Put me on any team. Tampa. Throw me on the Tampa Bay.
I just said that because we're going there next week.
Absolutely, I'll be on Tampa. But throw me on the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Fine, Ottawa.
And suddenly, no, Tampa. Throw me on Tampa Bay, and I'm sitting there in that dressing room, and I am about to make a deep playoff run, and suddenly, Braden Point, I'm just being extreme here.
Right.
Suddenly, you look at a guy who's better than Braden Point. You're like, we need to build our defense, and we want to go out and get Erik Karlsson for this playoff run. Okay, this was them last. And you say, you know what we're going to do? Braden Point's a good player. He's a free agent coming up. What we're going to do is we're going to send off Braden Point for Erik Karlsson. Are they getting a better player in return? Probably. Because Erik Karlsson's a better player.
Probably.
But if I'm Steven Stamkos or Nikita
I would
Kucherov
stay there.
or someone like that sitting in that dressing room and I see my Braden Point get shipped off and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, where am I?
Yeah.
Like, does this
Like, if
franchise
Braden
care
Point is
about
a
me?
30-goal scorer before March, and they gave him up, what about me? Is it going to happen to me?
Right,
I mean,
exactly. Where does this franchise, and I want to win a Stanley Cup, and I want to win a Stanley Cup with this team.
Especially for a player that, if they've been there long term and they put everything into it.
And
Yeah.
you look at guys and okay, fine, Ryan Hartman has only been here a couple of years.
Yeah, but
guess
look
what?
what he's
I
done.
want Ryan Hartman here for the next 5 years because I like him as a player.
Without Ryan Hartman, this team might be in the wild card position based off the injuries they had.
Yeah,
and the only one going center for center with the same price is Kyle Turris. So,
I hate to say it.
and we said it during the game. We talked about the whole Turris for Duchesne thing, joking about it during the game. Turris was
Send
in
him back to Ottawa.
Yeah, back to Ottawa. I mean, he loves Ottawa, but that's tough.
You know what I struggle with here?
I mean,
the only way I would do that is if I could get Duchesne to sign Turris' deal.
Yeah.
oh, absolutely.
Because right now, I'd rather have Turris through 21-22 or through 23. My goodness, he's going
and
to be
you
old.
think 23-24 is what Turris is signed through.
Yeah, I mean, you go out for me.
And I think Duchesne wants to be in Nashville.
I think
still
Duchesne wants to be. I do too. If I can go out and I can sign Duchesne, if I'm David Poile and I look at Matt Duchesne and say, look, I'll give you a deal. I'll give you, even if it's a 3-year deal, 4-year deal, if you'll come and play in Nashville. Maybe give him $7 million a year. I don't know. We'd have to go through that and see if we could fit in.
We got a lot of
that number.
signings.
You have
do.
a lot of signing that you're
You
going to
gotta
have to.
get. You gotta get Hartman, Fiala, Rocco Grimaldi.
You
who-
still have to sign Yossi again.
On the radio the other day, apparently it was said by David Poile that he told Rocco Grimaldi to go ahead and purchase a house in Nashville.
Which you
so
love.
I love it. I am so happy for Rocco Grimaldi. He's earned a spot, and now he's going to be. He's going to be in Nashville. So he's not going to be. I mean, he's not going to be expensive.
I don't
but
think
I'm
he's gonna
happy to
be-
see him here. I think he's going to get a million.
No, I
and a
don't
half.
think he'll even
He
get a
won't get
million.
a million.
He'll
You
get.
don't think
he'll
so?
get 800,000.
He'll get 8. Yeah.
He's making
825.
$650.
Yeah,
right
he'll
now.
get 8. He'll get 800.
I
He'll
think
get
he'll be
800
okay
to be a healthy scratch. And I love Rocco, but he's
And
He's-
lastly, you have to re-sign Colton Sissons. So you got some players
and,
there.
and Sissons is a 2. I think you base Sissons on Cali Yarncroke if you can.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
they're
I
essentially
agree.
the same
They
player.
are the
I
same
think
player.
Sissons is probably
A
a
little
little bit better. So maybe 2.3.
I was about to say 2-2, 2-3, maybe
Something in
2-2-5.
that. I think that's what you have to look at for Colton Sissons. Regardless, if Poile were to hang up the phone today, do you guys think And this is actually a Twitter question. Josh Kirby submits this one. Thank you so much for listening, Josh. It means a ton to us. It really does. Josh Kirby asked this question. Do these two trades make Nashville a better team than Winnipeg?
This is a question that's been asked now for the last 20
he actually
it's hard to tell.
He actually tweeted us later again and said, "Be honest, and not a Preds fan but a hockey fan. Does the acquisition of Boyle and McLeod make the Preds a better team than Winnipeg?" Not knowing what Winnipeg will do before the deadline.
Here's my thing right now. I don't know if it puts them over the top. The reason why the Winnipeg Jets at the moment have way too much. They can score way too easily. Yeah. With Patrick Laine, they can score.
Yeah.
Patrick Laine is cold right now.
Okay. Yeah, but
we got some physical pieces yesterday and super pumped about it. I still think Winnipeg is more physical. I still think
the thing is, you've picked up two big players, right?
Yeah.
They are big. Basically, that entire team is basically 6 foot and above.
Yeah.
Which I guess so is Nashville. But Nashville's average before Boyle got here was like 6'1".
Yeah.
And then you look at Winnipeg is like 6'4", 6'3".
Winnipeg
and 200 plus.
Winnipeg's real big.
I mean, they are a heavy hockey club.
Now, does our two acquisitions yesterday make us a better team to compete?
I think
absolutely.
It makes it a much better
if
team.
I was betting on a series today, it would be 7 games. Like, there's no other way
there's
to put
no
it.
way you wouldn't.
I heard on the radio today from someone that the guy said if Nashville and the Jets played today, that the Jets would win it was 5 Jets in 5.
That is complete.
And I was blown away. I was
trash.
like, how big of an idiot are you? But it's a 7-game series. I really think it goes out to 7 games.
I mean, it has to be. I mean, how could that be 5 games?
Guys, I just want to throw this out here really quickly.
I know you're just like smiling.
Yeah, he's over here smiling.
I always smile. Real quick, guess how many players on the Winnipeg Jets are under?
Are you looking at how big they are?
Yeah,
Because I just pulled that
He
up.
has that pulled up.
They're
Guess,
huge.
He, don't look at
I
it.
won't
Don't
look
look
at it.
at
I
it.
won't look at it.
No,
Don't look at it.
Don't look. Guess,
No.
Guess how many players? Stop.
I'm on the Brian Boyle.
Okay, good. Guess how many players on the Winnipeg Jets are under 6 feet tall?
Holy crap,
There can't be but one.
Hey, don't say anything.
Tyler Myers is 6'8".
What?
Yeah, he's a big dude.
He's a tree.
He's a big dude. But
Yeah, guess how many are under 6 feet?
How many players are under 6 feet tall on the Winnipeg Jets?
Is it just one? It's not Jack, is it?
Nah, Jack's I believe.
Jack made the cut.
Jack is
did he?
taller. Yep.
Oh my god.
I don't know. How many? What is it? 1, 2?
2.
2 players are
2.
under 6 feet.
Out of 23.
2 players.
As I go down this, okay, 6'1", 6'2", 6'1", 6 foot, 6'5", 6'1", 6'5", 6'1", 6'3", 6 foot, 6'5", 6'5", 6'3", 6'1", 6'8", 6'3", 6'1", 6 foot, 6 foot.
That's compared to Nashville's 9 players under 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We're small and fast, but man, they are big and
That's
they're
what I'm
going to
saying.
bully you.
That is what I don't know if you can get past.
Now here's the
But-
thing, to go with Josh's question, can we compete with Winnipeg?
You
Yes.
definitely can.
But what's going to cost us is that when we're done with the series,
You're going to be dead.
we're going to be like, oh my gosh, we got past Winnipeg, thank God. But man, we're going to be dead.
The question
That's what I'm
that I
scared
want to
about.
ask us is, are we a better team?
I don't think you're a better team than Winnipeg.
See, I think it's hard to say after one game.
It's very hard to say.
I think this team just needs to play together in Poyle season 2.
I think this is something you have to look at after this trade deadline.
Yeah, you have 18 days till the trade deadline. I want to see some more hockey. I want to see what these new lines are doing because our lines are so jacked up right now.
I mean, on paper, you're pretty cool. You're close to topping Winnipeg, but the thing, just Winnipeg's size is what's going to kill you.
Every bit of me wishes we could play through the Pacific.
oh
yeah.
my god.
To get I say that.
It would that plane out would suck, but it would be so much
here's
easier.
the thing though, is if you have to play through the Pacific, you're gonna have to play San Jose or Calgary or
Yeah,
Vegas.
but you're not going to.
Yeah.
Well, Vegas
Those
might
are-
kill you. But
Those are all tough. So we say that. We're simply saying we don't want to play Winnipeg in the second round, yet we're 7-7 against them in the last 14. So why are we stressed about
I'm not
it?
scared.
I don't
of
think
Winnipeg.
we're.
I'm
I
not
don't
scared.
think
of
any of us are
Winnipeg.
scared.
I'm not Jared Stillman.
But here's the thing with Winnipeg.
Called out. Stillman, go home. No.
We won't talk about who he
didn't
is.
take
He's
my
just
call
not
today.
very smart. But the thing about Winnipeg is you're going to leave that series absolute. Even if you win, you're going to be destroyed.
Yeah, you're gonna be
You're
It's going to be an absolute. What Steve Dayton would call a bloodbath.
Yeah. Ooh.
I do think, and this is like no injuries happening. I mean, you see 16-17 playoffs when we went to the Stanley Cup, but we were injury rattled by the time we got there. I think Winnipeg might hurt a player or two. Like, I think it could happen.
What type of player do you see? Here's the question, though. Is the acquisitions Poyle made, are those acquisitions the type of guys you look at and you're like, all right, those guys are going to be the guys who sort of, maybe not make sure you're not getting hurt, but if like, say you take out a Kevin Fiala, is Cody McLeod, that's his, I'm saying his name right. Sorry, that sounds weird
right.
coming out of my mouth. Is Cody McLeod the type of guy who you say, oh, you hurt Fiala? Cody, your job is to make guys scared to play because if you're going to crunch them and possibly break their arm. Not saying go break their arm, but saying you're going to feel it.
I think so. I think you had. That's another reason why they went back to get Cody McLeod.
Yeah.
You had to get some to get past Winnipeg. You had to get something like that to be able to stop their rush. I mean, their attack. I mean, Justin Buffett absolutely kills people.
As I'm looking at this, it says that Craig Smith is 6'1", 208, and Cody McLeod's 6'2", 204. There's no way Craig Smith is 208.
That guy's
pretty
jacked.
jacked.
I know, but when I see him next to Cody McLeod,
right?
I mean,
Well, Cody McLeod's fat. And muscle's a lot heavier.
Yeah, but Cody McLeod's 4 pounds lighter. That's what it just like when you look at them on the ice, they don't look 4 pounds different.
Oh no.
That's what I'm saying.
Cody McLeod's a completely different build.
But anyway,
it will be interesting to see how this plays out. I don't know if Poile's done, but I don't think he's going to necessarily be actively looking.
No, I think he's going to. I think if
I think he's in relax mode for at least the next 3 or 4 games, evaluating how this team looks.
Yeah.
I think you're
But
right.
I think your big question mark right now on this team from a player standpoint, I don't think it's Fiala. I think it's Kyle Turris.
I agree.
Well,
I know he just came back from
Dude's
injury.
got to knock some rust off.
I know.
He
I know.
literally, how many was he out? 18 games?
I know.
Yeah.
But he's got to find a way, even before his injury.
He
has been trashed this year.
I mean, he's had a year to acclimate. I understand he's been injured, but
He's
got to start showing.
He's played 30 games. He has 6 goals, 12 assists, 18 points, and a -3.
To me, do you know what the hope is for this? Is that Kyle Turris says, okay, last year I played great in the regular season. I was trash in the playoffs.
Yeah.
This year, I had a rough regular season, was injured a lot. Welcome to the playoffs. Is he going to do the same thing that he did in Ottawa in 16-17?
Yeah, I hope so.
It'd be tremendous in the playoffs.
So.
And suddenly you're sitting there. That's why I don't want to trade Kyle Turris.
I don't think you can because you want to keep the center depth.
You want to keep the center depth. You want the long-term deal that you have.
So
Turris
what
for.
we're saying is that we don't want to make any more trades. Is
Basically.
essentially what we're getting from this conversation. If we're summing it up, we don't see any.
I don't see it.
Unless you can dump a prospect.
Yeah, unless we're getting
a draft pick to go out and get a Duchesne.
I mean, guys,
or a
tonight's
Stone.
game that we just won in overtime was the first game nearly all season we've played without someone from Milwaukee.
Yeah, very true.
Hey, and I'll tell you what, we looked, and this is not exaggeration.
Physical.
We looked physical, and when we got the
really
cycle
good.
going, we looked fantastic.
Now, third period, did we look a little tired and sloppy?
They looked kinda
Absolutely.
tired.
They were, but we came out swinging guns.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
I think third period was a conditioning assignment. They were tired.
Can somebody look up what Cody McLeod's minutes were tonight?
Yeah, I got
in this Dallas game. I wonder, McLeod did not play a lot, but you noticed him when he was out there. You noticed McLeod when he was out there.
That's funny you say that because he's the front picture on this Predators website right now.
Yeah.
The ugliest face? Just kidding, Cody.
You are a horrible human.
Hey, Cody, I think you're beautiful.
Ben, he's going to punch you in the face in your sleep
I'm gonna laugh.
because you said that.
I live in Columbia, Cody. Come find me.
All right, he had 6 minutes and 54 seconds.
6 and a
6 minutes.
I expected that because when the game started, it was like
him.
8 minutes gone in the first period.
Right.
And I was like, I haven't even
Hold
seen
on.
Cody McLeod
You
yet.
got to listen to this. Everybody, the average was probably about 11 to 12 minutes time on ice for everybody on this hockey team.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Every-
Everybody had at least
Including fourth liners?
10 and a half to
Wow.
around 11 to 12 minutes, and he's here at almost 7.
That's hilarious.
I'll tell you what. I did notice a lot of times Forsberg was in his position.
Yeah.
But,
Forsberg was in his spot.
the only person
What was Forsberg's minute?
He was shifting a long time.
Forsberg
long shifts tonight.
had 17 minutes on him.
Really?
I bet
more
he
than that.
averaged over a minute.
What was Subban's?
Subban,
Man, I can't believe we're just going through this.
21.
Interesting. I felt like Subban was out there more.
I felt like he
He
was out there
was,
a
but
long
he looks hurt.
He looked rough tonight.
But I'm not going to make any assumptions.
If Subban's hurt, get him out.
He was bent over on the bench, and I know he does that a lot, but he looked.
He just didn't look good tonight.
He played like he was in pain.
He doesn't look. It'll be interesting to see how the current Preds, can stack up against some of the best teams in the NHL. One of which we talked about in some last week, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they had some huge news come out of Toronto.
Toronto got their golden boy.
Auston Matthews, 5 years, $58.17 million, weirdest number ever. But what do you guys think of that signing for Toronto?
How does your agent go in and be like, you know what? If you're not going to give me $11,635,000, how am I going to counter you at $11,634,000 a year? Deal. Deal. Perfect.
What do you guys
Such a random number.
What do you guys think of it for Toronto and for Auston?
I mean, he's the best player on the team, and John Tavares is getting 11 a year. So Auston Matthews was obviously going to be like, I want more than John Tavares.
I mean,
and they were not going to give him much more. I mean,
I think
you've got other people to sign.
I think I like about it is that they didn't sign him to a 10, 12 10 to 12 year long deal. I like it being about
and I think
5 years?
3 to 5 years, this contract is going to look very good.
When
the cap goes up, Auston Matthews is going to be cheap.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy thing. Austin's a genius for doing a 5-year deal.
Oh, yeah.
It's great for the team and it's great for Auston.
Yeah.
Because what you see is the team has the ability to do what they want with him in 5 years. And also...
And if he wants to walk and go to Arizona, he can.
Oh, I want it
I
so
do too.
bad.
And even Leafs fans were saying on Twitter and stuff, they're like, we got Auston Matthews for 5 years. If he wins us a cup, I don't even care where he goes. Like, if he re-signs, perfect. If he wants to walk, let him walk. We got a cup.
Of course, they're saying that now.
Yeah, they're saying that now. But you get that cup, and you're like, come back, baby. Come back, baby. Come back.
I personally also think this is a great deal for Toronto. And also, it's going to be really interesting to see how they weasel the cap with Marner's deal coming up. What do you guys think, ballpark for Marner? Where do you think Marner needs to be?
On the Steve Dangle podcast, I was listening, and they said that he's either going to get like a 3-year deal or it's going to be 6, 7, or 8 years.
There was who reported that?
I forgot who.
Someone who reported that.
I know.
That.
Someone else reported that. And they did that because they don't want Matthews and Marner expiring at the same time.
Which is a good thing.
Oh, it's smart. And I actually sided with Jesse on the podcast who said go with the 3-year deal and go cheaper, like 3 or $8 million a year. I'd rather do
Marner
that.
does it.
Yeah, if he does it over like doing an 8-year contract for like 9.5.
I think Marner is the type of kid. I think he would do that.
His dad's not. That's the problem right now.
This is the LeVar Ball of the NHL. Yeah.
Well,
it's one of those tough situations. You know how Nylander's dad was like,
Daddy does all the talking.
Yeah. Marner's dad is kind of I'm not going to call him a punk. He's very much like Marner was in the same year as McDavid, and he was just as good as McDavid, but nobody ever noticed Marner. Like, come on, dude.
Because Connor McDavid is the best player in the league.
Yeah, that's the thing. And so I don't care what you have to say. Mitch Marner is probably, in my opinion, top 10 and
oh, there's no doubt.
He's getting set up. I mean, pretty well.
Yeah.
But he's also setting a lot of people up, too.
I mean, Tavares is having his best season ever because of Mitch Marner. So
yeah, look at who's on his line. How can you not have a great season?
And so that's the thing. And so Marner, for me, great. I don't know how much Toronto you guys have watched. One of the most fun players to watch.
I watched that game last night.
I watch as much Leafs as I can.
Yeah, it was fun.
If I'm Toronto, I look at Mitch and I say, you know what? 8.5 to 9 or less.
Yeah.
And if I'm Marner, and they say, we're going to do that for you for 3 years, 40 years, I'm like, yeah, I'll do it.
We'll take it. Yeah.
Because to me, in the next 3 or 4 years, that's when Toronto has a shot at the cup. And if I'm Mitch Marner, I'm winning my cup with, if it's not as much money as I wanted, I'm going to win my cup. And then, you know what? If Toronto says, we're not signing you,
go somewhere
I'm going to go somewhere else and get more.
Get 11, 12.
Actually,
Actually, by 3 or 4 years, it'll be a $15 million contract.
Because the salary cap is going up so much.
If I'm Mitch Marner, that's what I'm doing.
You know what? Screw it. Give Mitch Marner 6 years, 10.5 a year. That way they cannot afford Kasperi Kapanen and send him to free agency.
And then the
No, we can't afford him, but
I know Cole and I have watched Kapanen. Do you even know who Kasperi Kapanen is?
I know who he is.
He's honestly, out of all these superstars on Toronto's team, he's probably one of my favorite players to watch.
He is so entertaining. He's so fast.
Yeah,
there was a play the other night where Morgan Riley sent it all the way down the ice, and it's like Kapanen read his mind and just dove into the zone and picked it up and like had a little breakaway.
He's a right wing. Can we trade Kevin Fiala for him?
No,
not at all.
Not yet. Maybe down the road. All right, they're looking good. The other team that is in a weird situation right now are the Columbus Blue Jackets. What do you guys think? You guys, for those of you who don't know, Panarin and Bobrovsky want out.
Yeah, it's very situation.
It's very obvious too because Bobrovsky hates everyone in Columbus essentially.
And so, what do you guys do if you're the Columbus general manager right now?
Okay, here's my thing. Okay, you're not going to win a cup this year. Let's go and throw that out there. Okay?
I think they're a selling team.
Here's my thing. Is 2 weeks ago, I would have said, you know what, keep them.
That's what I was thinking.
But now what has happened? I think what's going to happen. You don't want these players for Columbus to just leave.
I want to throw this out there.
No, because that's
the Blue Jackets are in the third Metro spot right now with 63 points. The wild card last spot is Pittsburgh with 63 points. Then Carolina has 60. Columbus though is 5-5 in their last 10. They've won their last 2, which is kind of interesting to me. They beat Arizona tonight. Man, that breaks my heart.
I know. I was sad.
Man, that makes me so
there's
sad.
other teams out there that are hunting on Panarin too. We're not the only one that when we're just talking about it, we don't even know if the Preds are interested.
To me, in Panarin and Bobrovsky, it sounds almost like rude to say, but Russians truly do like Florida.
Yeah,
they're from
they do.
They're
they
from
really
this
do.
winter area. To me, if I'm Columbus, I'm doing everything I can to get one of Florida's lottery picks.
You cannot let these. You cannot go into playoffs. I understand they're probably gonna make playoffs. We get it, but if I was a GM in Columbus, I could not stomach going into playoffs, knowing that I'm probably not gonna win a cup, and just letting these guys walk in the summer, not getting anything in return.
If I'm Kekalainen, the Columbus GM, I am absolutely calling up the Florida. Yeah. Think about this: the Florida Panthers are probably gonna have a lottery pick in round 1 this year.
Yep.
If I can look at the Panthers and say, look, Florida, I'll give you my first round in 19. Or if I'm Kekalainen, I'm looking at Florida and saying, give me your first round in 19, your second round in 20. And maybe I'm trying to look at players right now. Maybe it's Derek Brassard, just got to Florida, a 31-year-old who could, maybe be flipped, whoever cares.
Yeah.
Maybe it's getting you got to throw in like a James Reimer.
Yeah, you can do a James
another
Reimer.
goalie. Here's what I would do if I was Columbus right now. I would call Florida and I would say, you know what? I need James Reimer. I need your first round pick this year. I need your second round pick next year. I need. I would choose a roster player.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Mike Kaufman.
It could be. Yeah, Mike Kaufman would be a good one.
Maybe it's Mike Kaufman. And I'm saying I'm going to do that. I go on and I sign Korpisalo for like 2 years, $4 million. So like give him. He hasn't proven himself yet, really. His save percentage has been okay. But sign him for 2 years, $4 million. So he's making $2 million a year average. You have James Reimer, who has NHL experience.
Yeah.
Who will have a good defense in front of him with Jones and Rinsky. And for me, that is if I'm going to have Bobrovsky and Panarin walk.
You cannot let these caliber of a goalie and a player that are worth this much just walk in the summer.
Yeah,
and
you really can't.
That's why I call it Florida and say, "Give me the world."
It's an odd situation because they're in the playoffs, but they're a selling team right now.
They're absolutely.
It's a tough situation.
Selling.
To
Let me
be
put
in.
it. Selling in quotations.
Yeah, quote the selling.
I don't think. I think that that Kekalainen knows that they're not going anywhere.
He probably thinks they might win a cup. They're not going to win a cup.
They're not going to. I think
There's
he
no
knows
way.
it.
I would hope because
All right.
the issues they're having with Bobrovsky and Panarin.
So looking at the standings now, Nashville has 70 points. Winnipeg has 71. Who finishes top of the Central?
Winnipeg.
You think
They
Winnipeg
have 2
still
games
does?
in hand.
Yeah, Winnipeg.
Yeah, they do.
Winnipeg will finish at the
I
top.
believe the Jets lost tonight to Montreal 5-2. Yeah, so the Jets actually. I mean, they're. Did the Jets slump?
I don't know.
Oh, Nashville's back up to 5th in the league. I didn't even know. Everyone must be slumping because I did not know we'd gone back up. Also, I also heard the other day on part of Auston Matthews' contract that he's getting like $700,000 a year, and the rest is in bonuses. In this first year, on July 1st, when his bonus kicks in, he's getting a check for $15.2 million.
What a lifestyle!
But here's the thing about that, right? Here's the best part about that contract. His signing bonus. Let me find it really quick. His signing bonus is hilarious because it's 95% of his contract.
Oh, it's all
comes from the
signing bonus.
Yes.
and
He gets $700,000 a year salary.
right.
That's
So-
insane.
That's insane.
So if you look at signing bonuses here, Auston Matthews is going to make. Oh my goodness, 20 signing bonus of 20.257.
No, signing
that
bonus is $15.2 million this year. Next year is 15.2. 21-22 is 9.7. And then the next 2 years, the last 2 years of his contract is 7.2.
Yeah, so I was gonna say it goes down in the last.
It goes down in the last 2 years.
Okay, my cat friendly is messed up.
Yeah, your cat friendly's
I don't know
broken.
what it's doing. It says 20.
It's going to be an interesting thing to see how it all works out. Alrighty, I want us to move on. We had Kellen Wise ask this question on Twitter, and don't forget, if you ask a question on Twitter, we will try to get to it. Kellen Wise asked this question on Twitter, though. He says, are the Stars, I happen to know Kellen, he is a Stars fan, but he says, Stars, are they dangerous? Yeah. I hate the Stars, punk. He says, Stars, are they dangerous or are they on a hot stretch? Do we think that they're a big threat this year?
I don't think
No.
so.
I don't think they are
Wow.
either.
Shut down. Why?
Honestly,
I
that
don't
was
think the
just quick.
goaltending will hold up. I don't think Ben Bishop's good enough anymore.
I agree. Ben Bishop's
Do we
old.
not look at their
I know the goaltending
goaltender
is.
save percentage
Yeah.
tonight?
We
was
did,
like
and we were
9-2
docking over.
something.
Ben Bishop has a 9.24 save percentage, and Khudobin has a 9.24 as well after tonight because that was updated. It was 9.26 before the Preds game. But no, I don't think their goaltending will hold up. Ben Bishop's old and washed out, and
I wouldn't say he's
you know
old
he's
and
having a
washed
good
out.
season.
I wouldn't
But
say he's old and washed out.
dude, he's old.
I know he's old, but I don't think he's washed out.
He's only 32,
Yeah.
That's true.
and he's still solid. Here's the thing. I look at Dallas. Jamie Benn, great player.
Tyler Sagan,
But they only
Great
have really
player.
like.
Jason Spezza, okay player. Radulov, good player.
John Klimberg sucks. Not really. He's actually good.
I was gonna say.
I just don't like him.
But then,
It drops off.
It just.
Who else? Roman Polak.
32 years old and trash as ever.
1 goal, 5 assists this year.
But you look at this team, and I think they're hot. I mean, you
They're-
look at who they are. They're currently a team who is playing well. You saw the grit and grind on Tuesday or Monday night when they played Arizona, and Arizona fought back, and Dallas always found a way to answer. But the thing is like they're hot. Before this game they had won their last. Was it their last 6?
They were on a 5-game win streak coming into Nashville.
And then,
Nashville,
5-game win
yeah.
streak. But the thing is, they're 5-4-1 in their last 10.
Yeah.
So it's like before that they were on a 5-game lose. Or
You know, essentially 0-5 or 0-4-1, then
Yeah.
it became 5.
so to me, Dallas, you're almost there, but you're missing depth. And
Yeah, they are.
I think the problem with the Dallas Stars right now is when you look at their contracts. You have Radulov making a bunch. You have Jamie Benn making a bunch. You have Tyler Sagan on wow. He's about to bump up big next year to 9.5.
Oh, wow, yeah.
You start looking at their contract situations, and Dallas only has
$500,000
$500,000.
projected. $522,000 of cap
Projected
space.
cap
Projected
space.
cap space. And so suddenly, now you're going to have Spezza, who's 7.5 coming off the books, but you don't have a lot of money to sign those depth players.
No. But look how many they got to sign here.
Yeah, they've got to sign 2 D-men.
90% of their defense has got to be signed.
Yeah.
It's
no,
going
4
to be
D-men.
it's-
5, yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see where Dallas goes from here. I just don't think that they are a real contender.
No, I don't.
Now, could you imagine having to play Dallas and Winnipeg? The beatdown of your team would be after.
I
playing
don't
both
think
of them?
Dallas. I
I
think
don't
Dallas
think-
would be easy.
Yeah, I don't think Dallas would be that.
I'm just talking about the physicality.
I don't think Dallas would control that. I don't know if the physicality would be really there.
I mean, you've seen the past 2 games this week.
Honestly, it's shaping up. We're gonna probably play. I mean, like that number 2 team is gonna play Dallas first round. Let's be honest. Right now, winning the Central Division,
It's not a good idea.
it's. Why do you say that?
I don't really want to play.
Were you gonna say it's a good idea?
I think it's a. I think
I
you
thought it
want
was,
to
too.
win the Central because what I don't want to do is have to play.
No.
Like I'd rather play in Minnesota or oh my goodness, St. Louis is in a playoff spot, boys.
That's what I'm
Remember
saying.
when they were slugging fists at each other in practice?
Wow.
And then they got Barclay, the golden retriever,
But
and now
guys won
everyone's
4 in
they're
a
winning.
row.
Guys, then you look at the Blackhawks, and they win 1, and they're in the playoffs.
The Blackhawks won tonight. It's so sad. I wish if Arizona was healthy, they'd probably be heavily in the wild card spot.
Chicago, Edmonton, Colorado, and Vancouver are all knocking on the door of a playoff spot.
Heck,
Edmonton's not making it.
No,
They're
Edmonton
3-5
won't
and 2 in
make
the
it.
last 10. Colorado's not making it. They're 2-7-1. They're not going to come
Colorado
back
has
from that.
been awful.
They're so bad. They can't find a way to win. I think you see I think it's starting to separate itself. I think that you see, in my opinion, these 4 teams are your wild card teams. Minnesota, St. Louis, Chicago, and Vancouver.
I was about to say,
I think so.
by playoffs, I think Chicago's in a wild card spot.
Which is funny.
Which, how fun would it be to play Chicago first round?
You know how kind
Sweet.
of scared I would be?
Sweet.
though?
Honestly,
Oh, yeah,
I
I
would be
would be
nervous.
scared
to
too.
Because
lose.
if one of these teams comes in really, really hot, I mean, like really hot.
Patrick Kane's been pretty hot
Okay,
the
yeah,
past few
Patrick
games
Kane.
too.
He's
Yeah,
on like what, a 12-game point streak or something.
yeah, something like that. It's crazy.
The only reason why Chicago might have a tough time is, will they get? Is Corey Crawford still hurt?
He's on and off. I feel like he's
I don't-
been
I don't
on and off
Crawford,
for-
if they're smart, let me
don't
pull
know
it
if
up
they
on
just
Cat
play
Friendly. Crawford needs to be done for his career.
He really. Does.
I agree. For his own
I
health.
feel so bad for
I-
him.
I-
I really like him too.
Corey, look,
Yep, he's on IR. Again.
buddy, yeah, he's on IR. He's gonna stay on IR.
$6 million.
Let me just say this to Corey Crawford. Corey, buddy, if you're listening to this, retire. You playing an extra couple years in the NHL. You're 34. You've won some Stanley Cups.
You got plenty of money.
You don't need to end your life, to ruin your life.
I was about to say, if you play longer than the end of this year, you're gonna lose 10 years off your life.
Go
I
talk to
feel
Paul
so
Correa,
bad.
and I guarantee you he would say it was not worth it.
Yeah.
And I'm acting like Corey Crawford's listening to the show right now. I hope you are, Corey, but please don't do it. The only thing that I would look at this year is can Chicago make a run with Cam Ward as
I
goalie?
don't think so. Cam
No,
Wood is
that's
too
true.
old
He's 34 years old.
and too slow.
His save percentage this year is an 8.91.
No, definitely not. I don't think so. He's way too old.
He's
way
played
too
23 games. Man,
Slow. He's done well. I'll give him that. He has done well for the Chicago Blackhawks, especially with what's gone on this season.
I
With
mean,
the coaching change.
you know,
a lot of awkward stuff.
another old goalie that's making it.
Hey.
good old Mike Smith. Mike Smith has 26 games
Man.
played this year, and the dude's winning. Calgary's second in the league right
yeah,
now.
but
kinda-
Riddick
you gotta
is
look at
there.
them,
Riddick
too.
is the starting goalie for that team.
I
But
know,
you got to look
still.
at the teams that both of these teams are.
You're
between
right.
Flames and the Hawks.
I think, in my opinion, I think that if I were to currently go in and I were to say I totally lost the standings, if I were to go in and name my last 4 teams in right now, I would probably say Minnesota's in.
Yep.
Yeah,
Minnesota's
agreed.
in.
And I think it's probably either going to be Vancouver, St. Louis, and then Chicago. And I would probably throw in St. Louis ahead of Vancouver because Vancouver,
Vancouver's too.
They're young.
Colorado's 2-7-1 in their last.
They're
Yeah,
more
they're
like
falling apart.
That's worse than 2-7-1. I mean, if you go back like the last 20.
Yeah, that's just the last 10. I mean,
They
were slumping pretty hard before the All-Star break.
They were what, in second or third?
I think they were in
3
third.
months ago.
They were rocking it, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Because you can't have one good forward line and plan to hold up your standing.
The Canes are going to make the playoffs in the East, and I love them, and I'm going to thunderclap with them.
You know, remember when I talked?
I'm thunderclapping.
Remember
with the
when I
Canes all the way to
said
Stanley
the
Cup.
Penguins would win the cup? Or do we remember that?
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're going to make playoffs.
What a turn of events.
Now, will I think they'll come in clutch? Probably. They'll probably make playoffs. Let's just be honest. But
it's the Pens. They always make the playoffs, and I hate them.
does Boston drop it?
No, Boston's not
no.
dropping.
No.
Boston is going
Boston's too
to
good.
slide in and make a run.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, we're coming to the end of this podcast. Now, last time we promised to give away. Unfortunately, we were planning on recording on Sunday and having a giveaway, but we don't have a giveaway right now because of the trades we recorded on Thursday night after a game. But we don't want to end the show just yet. Heath's birthday was on Sunday. Cole and I bought him something small.
We did.
Heath,
He didn't know it was
this
happening.
might be weird for you.
Oh, man.
It might be odd.
Because we're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
This is odd.
And you might not like this because we kind of went out on a limb, but
oh, man.
we're gonna give this to you on
What
the
is
show.
this?
Just open it up. Just open it up. It's the box.
It's a box.
Well, I have to move this chair back so y'all.
Oh,
God.
He's throwing our present on the floor.
Oh, look at this! Heck yeah! I can hang that up in the apartment.
That's what the hope was.
What we
I love
got,
it.
what me and Ben got,
Y'all
Heath,
can't see it, so
we got him a canvas portrait of that famous picture of me and Heath in Winnipeg, where we were surrounded by
great.
all the Winnipeg whiteout. And it's a pretty monumental picture. If you haven't seen it,
I
it's
just took
literally
a picture of Heath with it, and I'm gonna tweet it.
If you go to my Twitter
Good
at
stuff.
ColePorter20, it's a pinned tweet because it was crazy.
this is great.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you like it, Heath. He's already looking for a place in this apartment to hang it. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. If you got this far, we appreciate it. Seriously, if you have a friend and you're like, I enjoy hockey, and they enjoy hockey, send this podcast their way, because we want to be the best we can be. If you have Twitter questions, tweet them at us. Use hashtag Hattie Podcast. We will check that every single week.
I think I'm gonna make a Twitter for us this week too, like an official Twitter to keep up with everything.
Yeah, we'll get that made so you guys can contact us more easily. We love you guys. Have the best night. Have the best day wherever you're listening.
Go Preds.
Go Preds. And the NHL
Happy hockey.
is so beautiful. Happy hockey.